I don't see UDP as a threat. There is a very famous tree in the bush that born itself. It's called Fanjano Euro. Garab la bo xamni dafa grow and beautiful flowers, beautiful fruits, all of a sudden bena good remu taka. That's UDP for you.
It burns itself?
Yeah, Fanjano, yes. That's a tree for UDP. That's UDP for you. So for us, we are not seeing UDP as a threat.
Why are you using that as a symbolism of maybe the situation of the UDP? Why?
I
The
would,
UDP
I
is
would
not burning
enjoy
itself.
a conversation where I'll have the UDP and I to discuss, and we looked at the historical facts from 1996 to date, whether this party has grown to make that success that they anticipated for all these years. And it's not the case. It doesn't matter what they do, it's a fanjano. It's that beautiful tree in the bush that in fact not only bond itself, but bond the whole bush. That is it. I'm sorry to say that, Peter.
You're not basing yourself on any scientific findings.
No, but 1996 to date, at one point you think this particular party had made progress, had made Gambian people to believe that it's a party for the Gambian people, it's a party that is not going to be a sectionalist party
Sectionalist?
or a tribalist party. But we
Tribalist?
see when people in
Hussein
UDP,
Darboe just explained that yesterday.
He's
It's not a tribalist party.
I mean, come on. We have seen statements that have been coming out from top brass of UDP. You cannot say that party is not considering itself to align itself with a particular language. That's basically that is happening. When the chairman of Bricamere Council makes certain statement as the chairman of the biggest region in this country, you wonder what sort of party or what sort of people this, would they call themselves?
What did he say?
I'm
I
really
didn't
frightened.
hear that. Did he say that in Mandinka? If he did, my Mandinka.
I'm really, of course, it was on Facebook and it was all over the place.
I'm not on
frightened.
I'm not on
I'm
Facebook.
frightened, and I've always been frightened to be around anywhere where a UDP government will be. And I beg.
Well, the people of West Coast region don't seem to have a problem with the UDP because NPP has made no inroads
You see, the problem
in
with
the West Coast region. So
the problem with,
whatever is troubling you is not troubling the people of West Coast region.
you see, when it comes to local elections,
Yes.
it's different. When it comes to national election, we've seen where we say, okay, 40, 50% of the Gambian people are those who did not decide. The Peters and others, just want to go around getting their nice benekin, their super Mbahaligori again and whatever, and just wait for the day to go to the polls. And they look around among the ones that are out there, who do I feel safer?
You are describing me now. Absolutely describing me.
So who do I feel safer with? And you turn around and say, Barrow, Monyu General.
Oh, Usainu Darboe mo ñu
No,
gënal.
Barrow Monyu General. We have seen that, and Gambian people went and do that. And the same thing is going to happen in 2026. People are going to sit around, get their ndugas, get their beautiful dish ready, and tidy their houses, and then just go and vote and come home and just, relax. Because Barrow Molen General, Barrow Molen Jojama.
It's difficult for the NPP to claim that, given that
Claim what?
NPP mo len gënal, Barrow mo len gënal, because they are yet to fight an election alone. You fought the last election in alliance with other parties, so your victory, like the APRC claiming that if it wasn't for them, Barrow.
But Peter, alliance is not new in politics.
I'm making a point.
You are making a point.
Yes.
But even the UDP, the last election, they had the BB Darbos and others with them. So it was not like they went into it solo. They had other people who joined them. They had the Mary Sox, you name them, they joined them. So they did not go alone. And the MPP too, we have our ally parties.
That's true.
So it's not about who we go with, it's about the Gambian people feel comfortable and settled with Adama Barrow. We all know, today in this country, development is all over the place, infrastructure is all over the place, and we have our freedom, we have peace of mind. From 2017 to date, no family member have left their house and disappeared. And there is no single political prisoner in Mile 2. And in fact, if I quote Hussein Darboe yesterday,
Oh, you were listening to him?
I always listen to Coffee Time. You know, when he talked about do not consider previous elections of his, because it's in Jammeh's time, but this time could be different. It's different because it is important for him to acknowledge the space that has been created under the leadership of President Adama Barrow, where political leaders, where presidential candidates in election are accorded with all what they need. They had a full platoon of police security with them in the history of this country in 2021. I mean, I'm not Wolof Njawa, you know, Hajj, Ninko Bany Bany, Wane Bonyambiana. And Adama Barrow has been one person, you know, who is very tolerant. We have seen, I must congratulate him for a brilliant speech delivery at the National Assembly, at the SONA, and not only did he did that, for me, when Adama spoke last week, he has actually given me what I was ever looking for.
Which is?
A leader that I trust. And Adama Barrow is a leader that I trust. Not only did he did a brilliant speech and talked to the Gambian people at their level for them to understand the work that his government is doing, he left his seat and went and greeted lawyer Ousainou Darboe and had a pleasant chat with him. I had Ousainou saying you want to call him infrastructure Barrow or whatever. I mean, he should have, because definitely Barrow is known for that today. Infrastructure-wise, I'm not going to Sumamboka. In fact, sometimes I'm scared not to be on the road. Maybe Barrow never concrete.
That's interesting.
So of course, he's the infrastructure man. He's the man who is transforming this country. And again, not only he gave pleasant greetings to Ousainou Darboe and all those people, he went to the majority office of the National Assembly and greeted all the members of Parliament who were there, have a pleasant chat with them, and then went to the minority leader's office. Peter, for Christ's sake, this is a man of peace. This is a man who wants to reach out to everybody, want to listen to everybody. And I think Ousainou Darboe yesterday should have congratulated President Barrow for doing that. Even Sir Dawda never did that. I'm a kid, but Ousainou was here, and others were here. They cannot recall.
Well, when Sir Dawda was here, Ousainou wasn't around.
But he was around. He was here. He was here. He was not in politics, but he was not in politics. I used to remember a lot of work had to be done for the late Sri Mustafa Diba to even have the pleasant greeting with Sir Dawda. Whenever it happens, Radio Gambia, the late Lalo Samad and others would be celebrating in Radio Gambia for
because that's
such
what
a thing.
That's what public radio does. It's just like GRTS would trumpet.
No. But when it comes to what Adama Barrow have just done, it is historical. In fact, not only for Gambia.
We haven't read that in any newspaper.
Of course. But I've seen.
Are you suggesting that we are all opposition? That's why
you are not opposition. You did your job. But again, even people around the sub-region have reached out to us to say congratulations, felicitation, because Adama Barrow, what he's doing.
Who in the sub-region?
We know. I mean, these are our partners, and these are people who have interest in the Gambia.
You just made that up.
No, Peter, come on. Anyway.
But people are complaining that Barrow avoided all the burning issues of the day. Rising cost of living, scarcity of, commodities and the like.
Peter, you see, Barrow did not avoid anything. He talked about food sufficiency. He talked about, the ordinary Gambian, people. I mean, when people talked about...
Those are declarations of intent. We want to do this, we want to do that.
No, it is not.
What is plaguing the people now?
No, it's not that, intent. Barrow, what he did was a manifestation and a deliberation on what had actually happened. I had lawyer Darboe, my old grandpa.
Oh, so we're going to spend the whole morning...
No, because we're talking about what Barrow said. He talked about, he said it was a propaganda. I mean, for Christ's sake, this was not a propaganda. Whatever Barrow said is out there. Peter, you and I, if you just take a walk out here, I'll just point to you a great work that President Barrow have just done. And Ousainou talked about the lamp poles. He talked about electricity. He said the poles, they are dumping poles on them, they are dumping meters on them. I was very disappointed, honestly.
Why?
Because I, for example, living in Bruford, have the opportunity to have a cool drink in my fridge, and my wife can go and do a weekly shopping and put it inside the fridge and doesn't have to run around Tiba Garage every day. You want to deny my uncle in Badiou Salekenye that opportunity. You are telling them, giving them a meter and giving them electricity is not a priority. For me, I'm really disappointed. And I think Gambian people need to know the type of politicians we have in this country who actually want to use everything to downplay the development that President Barrow is doing.
That's what the UDP does.
What Hussein Darboe said here yesterday, talking about dumping meters on them. I mean, of course, come on. Their life in the provinces should not be different with my life in Brufut, because we're all taxpayers, all Gambian citizens, and electricity should be a necessity for us. So I think they do not want to see a Gambia where every single person has access to electricity and good road and water. And this is important. It's a fundamental right. And again, when he talked about the OIC road, that his car bumps and bumps because the road is bad, President Barrow have asked to replace his car for him, but he never take the offer. But now he's not talking about the bumps on the roads, he's talking about dumping meters on them. And I wish, Peter, you can send your reporters in this rural Gambia and ask them whether those meters been dumped on them, they want it or not. They really want those meters. They're in celebration, that they're enjoying what you and I are enjoying, an air condition, a fan, cold water, keeping their food refrigerated. Absolutely.